you go,
Damn.
people. Sorry. We'll give it a few minutes.
Yeah, we will give it a few minutes because I actually have a couple of fun facts I learned about clinical trials. Clinical trials are the medical trials that have to go through for like medication and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of fun facts I learned about it. I'm eating now, heads up, because it's gonna be a gory one this episode. Look at Mulan. When have I ever seen Mulan in there?
She's gone in there before. And there used to be the bed in there, but I took it out. What was this one? The what?
The soap maker of Correggio.
Howdy, howdy, Angela. La, la, la.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello, Thomas.
Thomas. Sorry to repeat what you were just saying before people came on.
So I actually have a fun little couple of facts about clinical trials. You know, the medical trials that you have to go through to get medication approved and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I got some fun facts. Do you know the year in which it became a requirement that all medical studies had to have women included in the studies?
I'm going to say 1970s.
1993. 1993 was the first year that they demanded that women had to be included in clinical trials. And that was for all medications. I have another fun fact. So, clinical trials test animals before they test humans, right? Do you know that it was in 2016, the NHS or the NCS or something like that, who studies clinical trials, they said in 2016 they have to actually study female animals too. They couldn't just use all male animals. So basically, they were giving medication to only male animal specimens. And then they would give it to men and women. So, because women have different hormones, and female specimens also, animal specimens have different hormones as well, it wouldn't, any side effect that affects female hormones or anything like that, would not show up until the human components took it.
Oh.
And it wasn't until 2016, if you're doing a study for the NHS, that you have to study female animals and not just male animals. That was less than 10 years ago.
Wow.
That is a fun little fact. And then we wonder why medications affect women so differently than men. Because it was never studied.
Because we're hormonal.
So I thought that was a little fun fact.
I'm about to go put a bra on because it's driving me nuts. I don't know why. Go ahead.
But yeah. All right. Everyone, enjoy your food. Because later in the episode, I'm going to give you just a warning. You might want to stop eating. So, we're going to start spooky season right now. We're doing an homage to Summerween. Because if you don't know, Summerween was actually created by Disney.
Yes, it was.
It was created by a show called Gravity Falls, and in the show, they have in the town Gravity Falls celebrates a day called Summerween, and so we are doing a little homage to that. And then also because next episode, so the first episode in August is a Q&A episode.
Come here.
So we're gonna start spooky season off with a Q&A, and we're gonna do all that.
And Willow's making her appearance, folks, because you know she has to be.
No willow butt though.
No Willow butt today.
No willow butt today. But I am warning you, for those who want to stay on this episode, There's going to be mentions of a lot of things in this case that are wild, like cannibalism, and other aspects of just wild murders. There's the mention of the occult.
Okay.
There is pregnancy loss in this as well. And there is, in the beginning, a lot of mentions of abuse and a mention of SA. So, she will find a way. It won't surprise me if all of a sudden her butt is in the screen somehow.
Yes. And we moved to the couch because
it was a rough day today.
We're both tired and we want to relax. And sitting at a table in a hard chair is not comfortable. And my legs hurt today, so I don't feel like dealing with that crap.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And then also, I'm going to start this episode by saying I saw a TikTok video that was a guy saying, yeah, I'm a feminist. There needs to be equality. And then he said that women commit like 2% of violent crimes, so women need to put in the work and get that to 50%. So women can be equal in committing violent crimes. And the comment section was just,
okay. So
those statistics are about people who've been caught. Who's to say it's not 50-50 and women just don't get caught?
Because we're smarter than men.
So I thought that was really funny.
I was going to say, men keep doing stupid shit and find out how fast we can get to that 50.
We're going to talk about this killer, and this killer, I'm pretty sure, would have gotten away with it if another woman had not, like, realized something was amiss.
The condensation in your cup.
Are you drinking my condensation?
Yes. Willow. Here. I have Mom's. There you go. You got the condensation off of Mom's cup.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a violent offender, and her name is Leonarda.
Leonarda?
Leonarda.
Okay.
You're going to find that there's a lot of female names in this character that looks like it was a guy's name, and then they just added a to the end. It's Italian. It's Italian. It begins in the late 1800s. The late 1800s, and then it continues until I think she died in 1970. So it is still kind of new.
You can't get up where the camera's at, honey, because this is just a tablet.
So we're gonna start with actually the story of her mom, because her mom's story is essentially what helps make her who she is.
Okay.
So Amelia Dinolfi was born in Montella Avellino, which is a small village in the south of Italy. Her birth date is not really known. I did try to find it, but I could not find it. So Amelia grew up as the teenage daughter of one of the wealthier families in the region. The beginning of her story was great. She was well off. She had everything she needed, and she was also kind, which was also considered a really attractive feature, especially at that time. She was liked by her neighbors and friends. She kind of just had it all.
And give it a second. Hold on. I'm waiting for the tail to go up. No,
She about to show Willow butt. How?
Yeah.
Willow.
Nasty girl. Come on, get your butt down. Come on. Willow. Come on.
Willow, come on.
Come on. Not showing your nasty butt. Come on.
Come on.
No. Come on. Down here. And there's the willow butt, everybody. Told you. We were just waiting for it.
So she was well liked by her neighbors and her friends. And so in the summer of 1893, Amelia was becoming an adult. Her parents were trying to find her a suitor, as they did in the 1800s. So because they were looking for a suitor, there was the understanding that because her family had money and a high social status, she was going to be courting men of a similar status or a little bit of a higher status.
Okay.
And that meant that certain men were kept out of the running, like a Marino Cianciulli. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. So unlike Amelia, he was middle-aged. He was impoverished, and he was known throughout the village for being cruel and nasty and also his piggish nature.
Okay.
So he was just a terrible person. He was the exact opposite of her.
Okay.
The two had never met, but he liked how she looked. He knew her by sight and reputation only. And in that year, he became obsessed with her and essentially became her stalker. And again, she was 17 at the time, and he was middle-aged. So it's wholly inappropriate.
Okay.
Now, was it kind of normal for middle-aged and somebody younger to get married? Yes, but that would be like an arranged marriage. And also, they would never, give her to somebody who was of lower class.
Okay.
He knew that he could never have her because he was poor and she was wealthy. And that bothered him. So he let that get to him, and he thought that this girl was on a pedestal. And he thought that she felt that she was better than him, and he felt that he needed to bring her down a peg. And he needed to ruin her.
Okay.
So one summer evening, while Amelia was at a party, she was attending with one of her suitors. He was stalking her. And he waited outside of the estate she was at and stayed in the shadows. And he drank and drank and drank.
Okay.
And after some hours of being at the party, she said farewell to her host and started down the path alone. Which is surprising, because at the time, there was always supposed to be somebody with you. A male companion, the suitor, a family member of the suitor, so that women's
So no matter what, like a buddy system.
Exactly. But she went alone, which was unusual at the time. She was walking home, and she actually didn't know at this time that she had a stalker. She did not know, because this stalking really didn't become something that was talked about until kind of recent.
Floozy.
Yeah. So, a trigger warning for SA. When she was walking home, she had no idea she had a stalker. So at first, when he approached her, she thought that he was robbing her. And she told him, "I have no money." And then she realized that money was not what he was looking for. And he ended up SAing her in the dark. When he was done, he got up and walked away like nothing happened.
Of course. So.
She said she laid there for a couple of hours after the assault, confused, because she had seen him around and kind of knew of him. And she also had not been taught about sex. During this time, Catholicism was very prevalent in Italy, and you didn't get the sex talk until the day before you got married.
Okay.
So she really didn't understand what had happened. What she knew happened was something that should have only happened between a married man and a married woman. And it was supposed to be for procreation only. So she was really traumatized, and she actually didn't understand why she was so traumatized, because this was such a new thing for her. And also during the time, since it was the 1800s, and since she was Catholic, during this time, since they had slept together, even though she was not a willing participant, they would have had to get married.
Oh, wow.
So deep inside, she knew it was wrong, and she believed that she had committed a terrible sin. She blamed herself fully for it. So her feelings of shame were really prevalent, because she would walk around the village or the market and see him, and she would get even more ashamed because of the attack. She didn't tell anyone, and she kept it to herself. And those feelings of shame got a lot worse because she realized she was pregnant.
Oh.
And she kept things quiet for 3 to 4 months of pregnancy. And by the time her parents realized, it was really obvious what happened. When her parents confronted her about it, they were not loving and kind. They were not like, "Hey, what happened? What's going on?" Blah, 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 blah. No, they threatened to go house to house to all of her suitors to find the one who defiled her. And that would have just been a giant embarrassment. That would have been embarrassing to have them go, right?
Yeah.
So she goes, "I know who did this, and this is how it happened." So she told them what happened. Her parents then brought Mariano to the house and confronted him. And to her parents, there was only one option: marriage to Mariano. So Mariano was pleased because now he could ruin her forever legally. Her parents made arrangements for a priest to be brought to the house, and they were married in a secret ceremony. And at this point, Mariano and her never spoke a word to each other. And then they were married, and she was going to have his kid. The awful part was, in the end, her parents wanted nothing to do with her. So after she got married, she was forced to leave her nice home that she had lived in for her whole entire life and literally move into a shack in the worst part of town. She was living with this man, Mariano, who was awful. He could hold no job and he had no prospects for work. That's how awful he was. Nobody wanted to hire this man. Instead, he ordered Amelia around at work, where he was physically abusive and verbally abusive, and also he would essay her still. She was still pregnant, married to an awful man, and then she gave birth to Leonardo Cianciulli on April 18th, 1894.
Yep.
Yeah. Leonardo's birth was not an easy one. It was a traumatic birth. It took its toll on Amelia, and she lost consciousness during labor multiple times.
Tataru.
If you can't tell, Tataru is trying to burrow underneath the...
Hey. How's that working out for you there? You can get my foot in something, I will slap you. You do that. You're going? It's okay.
So Amelia lost consciousness during labor multiple times. That's how awful of a birth it was. And I can imagine she's also going through so many emotional things at the time. So the moment Leonardo was born, she was essentially unwanted. Amelia was still a child, and also she was dealing with a lot of trauma. So Amelia ignored Leonardo as a baby, and as she got older, she continued to ignore her. Leonardo did say that she preferred the ignoring because she claimed that Amelia was often physically and verbally abusive to her, and she would take her anger out on her. All the anger from the trauma, and her parents would have taken out on this little girl. So because of the abuse and the loneliness, she had a really bad self-esteem. So by the age of 13, and trigger warning for suicide, she tried to kill herself. So at the age of 13, she tried to kill herself. She was found and she was stopped. Amelia, instead of consoling her, and this was infuriating for me to read.
Yeah.
Instead of consoling her, told her she was disappointed that she didn't succeed.
Oh, shit.
And a few years later, Leonardo attempted again. This time, it was done by swallowing glass.
Okay.
Yeah, painful, not typical. And again, she was stopped. So she was suffering because her mom and her dad, they were both awful to her. Her dad was also a monster.
If her parents didn't care, sorry to cut in, her parents didn't care about her so much and they ignored her. And you hoped that she would succeed from it. Obviously you did care because you stopped her both times and tried to do it.
Or somebody else. We don't know who stopped her.
She was just stopped.
It was just stopped. We don't know if a friend or somebody else stopped her. We don't know if a family member stopped her.
Because in my head I'm thinking the parents probably stopped her or Amelia stopped her.
And that's a thing we don't really know. It was never mentioned in Leonardo never mentioned who it was who stopped her. Because fun fact, if you really are interested in her story, Leonardo wrote a memoir in prison.
She wrote one about herself?
She wrote a memoir on herself. She wrote an autobiography.
Oh, well. There you go.
So she was suffering because her mom and dad. He was nowhere to be seen during this time. He would spend most of his time drinking with his friends and return home in the middle of the night. If he did return, so like some nights he would just not return. So one night Amelia and Leonardo actually went looking for him because they couldn't find him. And they found him passed out at a usual drinking spot. And they couldn't wake him up. And they decided not to call a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And they just dragged him home and locked him in a room. And he actually died in that room that night.
Oh, shit.
I wonder if...
Alcohol poisoning.
Either alcohol poisoning, or I wonder...
Them dragging him.
Dragging him, or potentially either Amelia or Leonardo decided to take matters into their own hands. because they didn't do autopsies back then.
True.
So, I'm just saying. So after that, Amelia married again. Except she married a kinder man and a more respectable one. Amelia actually thought that marrying this man might make her family look at her again and not ignore her. But it didn't. So since she couldn't get in her family's good graces and she realized she couldn't get her social standing back, she got herself a plan to get out of poverty, and it involved her daughter. She was going to scheme to get a wealthy suitor for Leonarda and hope that her daughter would pull her out of poverty. The daughter she's been abusing for all of her life and ignoring for all of her life is going to pull her out of poverty. That's her plan. Amelia did not tell Leonarda her plan. She just was like, this is my plan, and then proceeded to go with it. So Leonarda was talking to men and was dating too, and eventually she met a man named Raphael. And actually she fell in love with him. They had an actual relationship. He was a little older, but it was a good relationship. He was what was considered a low status job. He was a registry clerk, and he was the first person to treat her well and treat her like an actual person deserving of respect.
I just thought of something funny. I'm sorry. What's her name?
Leonarda.
What's his name?
Raphael. Oh, the teen, I didn't even realize that.
Like, did they have kids, Donatello and Michelangelo?
No, Giuseppe.
And then have a dog. And then have a dog named, what was the rat's name? Splinter?
No. I don't
Sorry. I just thought of that while
I
you were
didn't
reading
even.
it.
I typed this up in 2 nights, and I was like, that never even clicked for me.
It did right when you said. I was like, wait a minute, what was his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't work well. Well, it would still work, but not as well because her name is Leonarda.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there because that's funny.
So he was the first person to treat her well and treat her like an actual person deserving of respect, which is really sad.
Yeah.
She's looking for the box.
Right.
So he proposed marriage, and she said yes. She was like, yay, I get to marry a good man who loves me, respects me, all that fun stuff. But that was not a part of Amelia's plan. Because remember, Amelia wanted her to marry a wealthy man, and he was not a wealthy man.
Oh, money ain't everything, lady.
So Amelia said that she, quote, had put a curse on her in Pensardi. So Pensardi was Raphael's last name. For ruining her life a second time.
Oh, wow.
So Leonarda fully believed that she was cursed upon hearing it. She fully believed that that was a curse her mother had placed on her, that their lives were going to go terrible. It essentially imprinted in her brain, and it was there forever. She thought that she was going to live a life of tragedy, and it turns out when she left her mom's house to marry Raphael, she never saw her mom again. So that was always going to be in her head. Those were the last words of her mother. Raphael was a good man, and he was patient and loving. But her past history of abuse left her waiting for it to begin, and she was paranoid about disappointing or irritating anyone. So she had anxiety. She was on edge and worried all of the time. Raphael never abused her, ever.
Well, good for him.
So it got worse the longer she was married, because she couldn't accept the kinder environment. And because she couldn't find abuse in the house, she became her own abuser.
Which sucks.
She said if she made a mistake, she would lob a lot of criticism at herself, and she would fall into emotional turmoil, and she would essentially just spiral. And she cried a lot, and she had a lot of intense bouts of emotion. Raphael did his best to be supportive and sympathetic, but again, it's in this time period where this stuff wasn't really talked about. He didn't turn on her, though, and he still tried to take care of her. She started to spiral so much that she started to have seizures.
Oh, shit.
Granted, she had had seizures her whole entire life, and many believe it was due to an untreated illness from childhood, or it was a lingering consequence of the abuse in her childhood. But anytime she would get highly stressed or highly anxious, she would get seizures.
Oh, wow.
So she was a devout Catholic like most of the nation, and because of this, she had an interest in superstitious beliefs. And by early adulthood, she had a big interest in magic and the occult. So because of the spirals and the seizures, the paranoia, she thought that was her mother's curse. And she thought it was affecting her husband because people looked down on him because of her. She was a low status woman and he was a couple above her, and so they actually looked down on him for marrying down.
Okay.
Whenever there was promotions, he was overlooked because he was married to her. So desperate for any guidance, she went to the Romani community, hoping to see the negativity, to take that negativity and make it positive. You know the Romani community. So the Romani community, I don't want to say it. There's a girl named. You remember that lady who killed her mom? She had Munchausen's by proxy. Gypsy Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, the G word is often referred to as a slur now. They don't like to be referred to it because it's a derogatory term.
Yeah.
That term is used to describe the Romani. They are very heavily in the occult superstition. A lot of in England and Europe, they're the main form of fortune tellers and all that other stuff. There's a little bit of a Romani population here in America. Not super big, and they're very different. Most of them do asphalting, which is weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of them do asphalting in like the northeast area of the country.
Huh.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah. They are also kind of associated with criminality. And that's because European, it's a whole thing.
European where?
In Europe, Spain, England.
Catch the joke.
What? Oh.
Sorry.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to
Wow.
talk to you again.
That was two jokes in one there. Wow. I'm sorry.
But
Can't help it. If I hear it, I gotta say it.
But fun fact, the Romani was also heavily persecuted in World War II by the Nazis. They were put in concentration camps as well, in a large number.
Oh wow.
They were a small population, but they did take up a large number of people there in the camps. So that's a fun little history fact for you guys. And fun fact, the gay community that was in Germany, it was still a crime to be gay. So they would be put in the concentration camps, right? Mm-hmm. But when America and all the European nations freed the Jewish people, the Romani people, the everyone who was in the concentration camps, guess who had to stay in the concentration camps?
Those people?
Gay people. Because it was a crime and therefore they deserved to be there. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Majorly. I wonder if it catches our bleeps, because I set this to where if we cuss, it'll block the inappropriate words.
Yeah, maybe. So,
Maybe look at the last one.
she went to the Romani community, hoping to take the negative and make it a positive. So she went to a local fair and she sought out a fortune teller. She had been dealing with seizures, headaches, crippling depression, anxiety, and everything. Mm-hmm. She actually thought she was on the verge of death. And the fortune teller told her, no, you're not going to die anytime soon. You're actually going to outlive all of your children.
Oh, jeez.
Which is wild now, because when you learn a little bit about what happens, that fortune teller was kind of spot on.
Yeah.
So in 1920, she became pregnant. And immediately she worried, and the seizures started to return. And because of them, she fell a couple of times. And 3 months into the pregnancy, she had a seizure and she fell, and it caused severe abdominal pain and bleeding. Ouch. They went to the doctor and she was informed that she had miscarried, and she was absolutely devastated.
That's a hard thing.
Yeah. One of the reasons she really wanted to be a mom was so that she could be the opposite of her mom. This caused her to believe even more in her mom's curse. And Raphael, trying to be supportive, went, what's keeping us here in Monticello? let's move. So in 1921, they moved to Raphael's home of Loria Pontenza.
Okay.
When they moved, they didn't have a plan.
Hey, Peanut. Yeah.
They did not have a plan. They stayed in haystack fields. They would work for a day to make money, to stay for their lodging.
Okay.
It was kind of like spur of the moment, let's go. So eventually they saved enough money from the odd jobs they had on the way to town, and they were able to buy a small house in Loria. And they both found jobs and they settled down. So the town they were living in was more than 100 miles from Monticello, but a few months into their new life, her anxiety started to go away and she was getting better and the seizures weren't happening as much.
Okay.
And she was like, maybe my husband is right.
Yeah.
Maybe this curse is BS. We just needed a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
So a year later in 1922, Leonarda became pregnant and she gave birth to a boy and she named him Giuseppe.
Still waiting for Donatello to come out.
And from his birth, she was determined to be a better mother than her own.
Okay.
She was devoted to his health and happiness. But the voice started talking in her head, and she kept hearing the voice in the back of her mind. And she said she had the premonition that she would outlive all of her children in her head. And that caused her anxiety to rise.
Oh, Lord.
So she became overprotective and super vigilant when it came to Giuseppe. The pregnancy wasn't bad. It did require her to leave her job, though. So they were getting only by Raphael's paychecks. And this actually gave her more anxiety. So as much as she wanted to spend time with her son, she was like, I'm worried we won't have enough money. I'm worried we'll get poor and he'll get a terrible life. So she decided that she was going to get a local job at a tavern as an after-hours cleaner.
Okay.
So when she was working, she was worried about what was
Sorry.
happening to Giuseppe,
Mm.
and she essentially was obsessing over her son all the time. And initially, he was like, oh, that's just my mom. And as he got older and started to hang out with kids his age, he realized that that's not how every mom
That's not
was.
normal.
That's not
Yeah,
normal.
She became a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
What we call now a helicopter
She was worse than a helicopter parent. Yeah. That was about the time that she really started to isolate him, and he wasn't really allowed to hang out with other children. And he wasn't allowed to be a kid, which there is some psychological problems with Leonarda happening.
Yeah.
She was definitely the opposite of her mom, but in the negative way. She swung way too far on the pendulum to being a helicopter parent and being overbearing. So even though she was filled with anxiety about her son and Raphael wanted more children, it was actually kind of thwarted. She kept having miscarriages. And these miscarriages were like back to back to back.
Jeez.
But
Gotta
finally,
give your body time to heal.
yeah, but finally it ended and she gave birth to 2 girls in a short period of time, back to back. And then after the girls were born, she gave birth to another son. So after a while, she was like, there is no curse, it is going to be fine. And that's when it happened. A few years after them being born, the children would get sick. Her younger son was getting rashes and they would get bad. And one of her daughters was getting a terrible cough. And the daughter's lungs were filling with fluid. So she was coughing anytime she went to go lay down. So Leonarda would sit upright every night holding her so that the child could sleep.
Wow.
Leonarda did everything she could, but the daughter ended up passing away. And just a few months later, the youngest son would also pass away in his sleep. When they woke up, he was gone.
Oh, wow.
Now, there was no autopsy done on these kids because it was not a common practice to do autopsies on people.
Right.
This sadly just confirmed the curse, but also the premonition of the Romani fortune teller. So apparently she quit her part-time job so she could focus on her kids, and she became obsessed once again. And then sadly it happened again. Their second daughter contracted the same coughing illness and died of it too. This meant the only child was Giuseppe, and she was worried it would keep happening. and she was scared the curse was going to go after her only son. Her anxiety ramped up, and the seizures were also ramping up. At this point, Raphael was also struggling with grief, but he was trying to keep his wife from succumbing to it, and he did it the only way that they knew how to do it. He told her, let's have more kids. I know it gives you anxiety, but it might be a good thing. She was reluctant at this point, but eventually she did get pregnant again. A few years after that, she gave birth to a total of 5 healthy boys. All 5 of those boys died.
Wow.
Yeah. There is not a reason given, just that there was no sign of abuse, no sign of poison. They just died. So she has given birth to 9 children,
Okay.
and 8 of them have died.
Lord.
When she did speak of this, she said that every night she dreamed of small white coffins being swallowed one after the other by black earth.
Oh.
This grief drove her more into a depression, and she became super paranoid and anxious. And like the past, she obsessed over Giuseppe's, and he couldn't catch a break. She was on him 24/7. He was her focal point. Luckily, at this point, thanks to Raphael's connections to the community, they found her more work as an after-hours bank cleaner. So it was a better environment, and it meant she could focus on something else.
Mm-hmm.
The job helped. It was repetitive and isolated. The only issue was that she had to pay out of pocket for her cleaning supplies. And after paying for them, she wasn't left with a whole lot of money. So in an effort to make it worth it, she actually started making her own soap and cleaning supplies.
Okay, makes sense. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, that didn't really change how much she was bringing home, and she was still obsessing over her son.
Mm-hmm.
So one evening, after everyone left the bank, she went to the manager's office, created a fake account for herself in one of the ledgers, and transferred a not-so-subtle amount to herself.
Okay.
I don't know the exact amount, but it was not subtle. It was a amount that was definitely noticeable. She was like, no one's going to know because it's the 30s. It was not 30s. It was like the late 1920s. But in the late 1920s, the banks kept their books spotless. It was pristine. They knew exactly what. So she came back to work the next day.
Right.
And she was met by police officers and arrested for fraud charges.
Oh shit. Oops.
Yeah. So the charges were a source of embarrassment and anxiety, but it wasn't until the consequences of her actions that she realized that it would affect her family really heavily.
Yeah.
She realized her husband could lose his job, especially if they thought he was in on it. So she made a point to say it was just me. My husband had no part in it. She claimed that she was seized by madness. I really love justifications in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
I was seized by madness. That's why I stole the money. Damn. I wish it was that easy nowadays.
Right? You understand we don't make enough government.
She really wanted to make the point it was just her and no one else. And she went in front of a judge in 1927, and she was found guilty of fraud and sentenced to 18 months in an institution that once served as a nunnery that was still operated by the church.
Okay. So a year and 6 months?
So according to an author of the book, The Deadly Soap Maker of Correggio, the true story of Leonarda, Gianciulli, this would have been a grueling sentence and mistreatment at the hands of the nuns, because it was not a nice place at all. Any other woman in this institution would basically call it a hell of their own making. It was awful. Terrible. It was child's play to Leonarda.
Oh, wow.
She had gone through so much, she was completely unaffected by any of it. She said that she got through it by thinking of her son waiting for her when she gets back. She was released a little over a year later, and it was not great. Because even though she had tried to separate Raphael from the crime, he was still fired. His reputation was completely tarnished. And even though he had been super supportive and understanding of his wife in their marriage, he became openly critical of a mistake she had made. And Raphael actually borrowed a small amount of money. It was like, we have to get out of here. We can't stay here. So they relocated to Lacedonia, and they hoped to start over. Now, for the second time, they had uprooted themselves and moved, but this time was different because there was a kid with them. So they couldn't sleep in hay barns in exchange for a day's labor, and they couldn't do their time, do their time. So they reached Lacedonia, and Raphael found a clerical job and was able to quickly afford a small house. And it took a few months, but once they were settled, Leonarda and Raphael were able to reconnect. Everything calmed down and the tension chilled out. Leonarda got herself pregnant. Like before, it brought anxiety that the baby was going to die like the others. Mm-hmm. She was spared. She gave birth to a healthy baby, and then she had another healthy baby. So that's like a total of 11 pregnancies, by the way. Jeez. The babies were healthy, and so was Giuseppe. And actually, her marriage was on the mend. But again, she was unable to shake the fear and paranoia that something was going to happen. So she started to, in any free time that she could, go to a fortune teller. This just fed her anxieties. But one afternoon, about 2 years after their moves to Lacedonia, she went to go see another fortune teller. And the fortune teller took her hands and said, "In your right hand, I see a prison, and in your left, a criminal asylum."
Okay.
This caused her to panic, because how? And why? But in 1930, she was distracted by this. There was a giant earthquake in Lacedonia. The home was destroyed, so they had collected their belongings from the rubble. That earthquake killed more than 1,000 people and destroyed thousands of homes. It was at this moment they moved to Correggio. The residents of Correggio knew of the earthquake and were willingly accepted them. They did all they could to make the people of Lacedonia feel welcome. Raphael found a job right away, and it was a good job. The children were healthy and making friends and doing well in school. But Leonarda was unsettled. She was anxious. She blamed herself for everything, saying it was her fault for marrying Raphael. Mm. She said it was the curse. But the only thing she could do was move forward. And she gave up. She gave up her hypervigilance and overprotectiveness because she was like, I can't protect them, but we can just live. That's when she started to get more stable. She was making friends and was becoming more active in her community. She and Raphael became well-liked and well-respected in the community. Eventually, friends and neighbors helped her open this little storefront to sell her soap.
Oh, nice.
It was attached to the family home, and she sold the handmade soaps, other handcrafted goods, some tea cakes, and she was good at it. They were really successful. And at this time, Italy decided to enter the Second World War under Mussolini. And as they did, Mussolini used nationalism to get young men to join the military ranks. Giuseppe was one such young man who was convinced to fight for Italy, because not only could he fight for Italy, but he could get away from his overbearing mom.
Yeah.
So Leonardo didn't find out he joined the military from him. She actually found out from a neighbor at the market.
TB. She's maybe thinking
TB.
Tuberculosis.
Somebody said a congenital issue, like a birth defect.
Wouldn't whooping cough be part of...
Whooping cough?
Whooping cough?
Maybe. SIDS, also possibly. It was just very weird how they all died. So she was very focused on that. A lot of the idea is that they had a congenital... They were born with birth defects, because there's no way you lose that many children. Mm-hmm. And then the fact that she was also constantly having miscarriages.
Yeah, her body was under distress by...
The seizures, the anxiety, the depression, the headaches.
Yep.
So right now, it's a really sad life.
Yeah.
It's really sad. And it's the exact statement I make about some people. You feel bad for the child. I feel bad for Leonarda up until a certain point. And then it's like, Leonarda, why?
What are you doing to yourself?
Yeah. So Giuseppe went to go fight in a war. And Leonarda didn't find out he joined the military from him. She found out from a neighbor at the market.
Oh, okay.
So she was like, what? My son is joining the military? What?
Yeah.
So she was devastated because she tried so hard to protect her children, and here he was willingly going to war. And it wasn't the peak of the war, and they knew that that peak was approaching, and they were like, oh my gosh, they're going to go fight, and it's going to be the peak of the war. There was a high certainty something was going to happen to him. And she was like, I'm not letting this happen. There was nothing she could do to prevent him from joining because he was an adult. So she decided to turn back into her interest of the occult and superstitions and old texts. She was determined to make sure nothing bad happened. Leonarda kept visiting fortune tellers and became a student of the occult. And she was learning about magic, and she was learning how to become a cunning woman, which is now what we refer to as a witch. She ended up getting a huge collection of books on different subjects. So she went looking through her collection of books, and she was trying to find something to save her son. I'm reading ahead because I know what's coming, and I know I'm going to say this, and I think you are going to know exactly what's going to come of this.
Okay.
She found something in a book called The Law of Equivalent Exchange.
Okay.
The book stated that she could ensure Giuseppe's safety, but in doing so, she would have to offer another life as an exchange.
Oh. You really want to go there, Leonardo? I mean, come on now. They'll prescribe an orgasm. Oh my God. Angela.
I mean, she's not wrong.
That's hilarious.
She's not wrong.
She reads the wrong incantation. And then poor Giuseppe's in the middle of the field. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know.
So the thought of human sacrifice really bothered Leonarda, but she felt like she had no other choice.
Come on, lady.
She wanted to protect him, and she was going to exchange someone else's life for it.
Then you give him a medallion or something that you pray over and then give to him. Not sacrifice people.
So Leonarda started collecting everything she was going to need to create an effective poison to do this. She began to think about her victim and her sacrifice. She settled on a woman named Faustina Seti, who was
with that name, I would.
who was a 76-year-old spinster. And as far as Leonarda knew, she didn't really have any family or ties to the community.
Wow.
Since she opened her shop, Faustina would regularly come in and shop. And since she was a spinster, the community looked down on her, so she really wouldn't have been missed.
Okay, so it's number one, it's sad that she picked an old lady. But two, that's pretty dang smart. Because
It is.
then her being in her 70s, a 76-year-old woman, they're going to think she died of natural causes. Excuse
That's
me.
sweet that you think that this is how it's
Oh, I
gonna
know.
go.
I'm trying to be that way right at the moment until we get to the good
This is
stuff.
so sweet that she thinks that this is how it's going to go.
No, I know it ain't going to go that way. I'm just saying. The fact that she picked a 76-year-old woman that the people look down on.
I don't think
they're not
going to
miss her.
Putting down.
They're not going to miss her.
So Leonarda managed to excuse her behavior by saying she was doing her a favor by ending her life. That was her justification. I'm doing Faustina a favor by killing her. So when she figured out who she was going to kill, she invited Faustina to the shop and said, I found a man interested in meeting you. And Faustina was desperate to get married, even at 76. So she started to change letters with a man named Pula. And once he had seen a photo of Faustina, he said he was in love. Pula never existed. It was Leonarda who was writing these letters.
I kind of figured that much because who in the hell would name their kid Pula?
So Faustina is
You
really...
want to go to the Pula?
Yeah. So Faustina is really happy. She made arrangements to meet Pula, and she told Leonarda, and Leonarda said, write some letters to your family so they don't get concerned with your absence and interfere with your relationship. Faustina agreed and did what she wrote. She wrote letters, and Faustina promised to mail the letters the morning she left. So on the morning she was supposed to leave, she was so excited, and Leonarda invited her to sit and have a drink of wine to calm her nerves. So she did. She sat down, but the wine was drugged. So she became really drowsy and ill. So as she was becoming immobile, Leonarda went into another room and came back holding an axe.
Oh, good God, axe murderer.
Later, Leonarda would tell authorities the intention was to swing the axe and kill her with a single swing to the back of her head. But she misjudged, and the axe came down on Faustina's shoulder and shattered her clavicle.
Ooh.
The woman was paralyzed in agony. Leonarda ripped the axe out and brought it down.
Oh my God. This is like a horror movie. She ripped it out and did it again.
And brought it down again and again. She said all she thought about was Giuseppe's safety as she did it.
All right, Dexter.
So the shop was covered in Faustina's blood. There was tissues and biological matter all over Leonarda.
Good God.
Later, in her published memoir, she said, and I quote, "I threw the pieces in a pot, added 7 kilos of caustic soda, which I had bought to make soap, and stirred the whole mixture, and the pieces dissolved in a thick, dark mush that I poured into several buckets and emptied into a nearby septic tank."
Okay.
And here's where we're going to get to the cannibalism, so heads up. As for the blood in the basin, I waited until it was coagulated,
Oh.
dried it in the oven,
Yeah.
ground it,
Okay.
mixed it with the flour, sugar, chocolate, milk, and eggs, and a little bit of margarine, kneading all of the ingredients together. I made lots of crunchy tea cakes and served them to the ladies who came to visit.
Okay, if I go to lunch, no,
Though Giuseppe and I...
I am never eating tea cakes in Italy. Just saying.
Though Giuseppe and I...
Nope. No tea cakes for me. I don't even want your sandwiches. I will bring my own. I'll bring my own food. Thank you. God. Crunchy tea cakes. You gotta describe it like that?
Though Giuseppe and I also ate them, I also got caught up on the crunchy tea cakes.
What? That's all that's stuck in my head. Crunchy tea cakes aren't crunchy.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be crunchy. They're supposed to be. I'm not even gonna say the word because that just makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it worse.
But the fact that she fed it to her son, the fact that she fed it to unsuspecting people, and then brags about it. So these women who were going to her shop didn't know what it was. So they didn't find out until they read her memoir. That's what they ate.
They pumped their stomach a lot.
Oh, it was, yeah.
That's gross. See, here's the thing, okay? I'm a little bit something. It's getting dark. Yay. Okay, talking about cannibalism does not. But when you start describing it, nope, I will stop you. Because my stomach was never been queasy.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot talk about if it's gushy and pussy and all that crap.
That's the,
right now.
and I know it's weird to say, I'm glad this cannibalism is different in the way, it's different from like the normal like, oh, I ate a piece of his leg or something like that. No, it's, I took some blood, I mashed it up, and I put it in tea cakes.
No tea cakes, not really.
Now, according to the laws of equivalent exchange, the sacrifice had to ensure an easy exchange. And as far as she could tell, it wasn't an easy exchange. It ended up messy and horrific.
Oh, wow.
So she was going to have to do it again. But this time, she thought of the flesh and fat. Because she used the blood for the tea cakes, she realized she could use the flesh and fat for her soap. And she can do the equivalent exchange and save Giuseppe. And she said that because the first one was so messy, it was rendered useless. So she was like, I didn't do it correctly, and Giuseppe's safety is on the line. So she realized she had to do it again. So she waited a couple of weeks. When she realized that no one was suspecting foul play when it came to Faustina, she began making her plans for the second sacrifice. And that would be Francesca Soavi. Now, she was different from Faustina in the fact that she was an active member of the community. She wasn't an outcast.
I can't text her. Dang it, I'm still texting.
She was also a former school teacher. She had no children of her own, and she was also a recent widow.
Oh, okay.
So Francesca was going to be missed and noticed, unlike Faustina. But Francesca was in desperate need for work. And she turned to Leonarda for advice. And Leonarda was like, lucky for you, I have a solution actually. She went, I know a high-paying job at a girls' school in the northern city.
Somebody's talking about me.
Your ears ringing?
That one.
So she was excited to start again, and she agreed to take the job. Now, one September morning, she arrived at Leonardo's shop before she left for the job. And Leonardo was like, Sid, write a couple of postcards for your loved ones, telling them why you are leaving, because you don't want to worry them.
Her little thing that she does now, before she kills people. Oh, just tell your family you're fine.
She said, don't tell people where you are headed, because they may try and stop you, because they don't want you moving away from them. So just tell them you took a new job, just not where. So she said again, let's sit down, have a glass of wine to calm your nerves. Quickly, the wine disoriented her, and so Leonarda disappeared into the back and came back out with an axe. And this time she knew what to expect. She said she swung with confidence, and that she swung once, and it hit her on the back of her head and buried in her skull. Now, certain she was dead, Leonarda went through her personal belongings, looking for anything of value.
Okay.
This time, she dismembered the body, and she said she was careful with it because she wanted to use the flesh and fat for soap, and the blood was dried for tea cakes. And the tea cakes had actually become popular.
Okay, I have to point something out because it's so disgusting. But if we ever, so gross.
Are you talking about wanting for Halloween to make Leonardo's tea cakes?
No, not with actual blood.
Not with actual blood, but instead making it call it Leonardo's tea cakes and dye it kind of red tea cakes.
Yeah. And then not only that, I was thinking that if we had our little cafe bookstore or whatever we're gonna do, cafe type thing, we can kind of go back into our podcast and see who did food. Okay, and for Halloween,
do something.
Do that, and then tell people, well, who's Leonardo? Let them eat it first, and then tell them. And then
you have to take a bite first. Then we'll
you have to take it, but then make them well aware
that it's not.
This is an idea that came
do
from a
some
podcast.
Gacy wings.
Oh, gross. But that came from our J.A.M. history thing that we did. Add a little powder to it; it'll turn red.
Yeah, like beet powder or something like that.
Yeah, and then that way we can tell them, Leonardo's tea cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave it like that. Don't even tell them. If they ask, well, what is that from? It's like, oh, well, we did a podcast, years ago. Was it? No, we're not doing meat pies. With a beetroot gravy. Now think about that.
But do something like that.
Yeah, do something like that for Halloween, like where you have to, just like little tea cakes or cookies or something like that to, gotta make it spooky.
I love the fact that the tea cakes became popular, though.
Not for me, they wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, nobody knew until she was already in jail.
Still.
So the remaining parts and other useless parts, as she called them, were tossed into a vat of caustic acid and thrown into the sludge pit behind the house.
Yeah.
Later that evening, after she was arrested, she said that the only reason she killed the woman was of her deluded belief it would protect her son during the war. According to Leonarda, since it was done in one swing,
Sweeney style. Yeah, okay.
According to Leonarda,
Just without the chair and the razor.
It was done in one swing, then it should have classified as an easy law of equivalent exchange, which should have been reached. To her, it was not. There was a third victim. Luckily, the third one was the last one. The third one was much more senseless, and it was far more personal and petty. In Correggio, there's a lot of famous people walking around, and there was a noticeable resident, and that was Virginia Cacipo. She was a former opera star. She had
You said opera wrong. That's what happened.
Opera star, and she had retired from the stage because her husband had died years prior.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a patron of the arts still. So now apparently Leonardo resented her and admired her equally. So Virginia was a high-ranking of person, and Leonardo, when it comes to ranking in the community, was a little lower than her. And they had actually become friends years earlier. Virginia then decided that she missed the excitement of urban life, and she wanted to move into a larger city.
Uh-huh.
And Leonardo took that at a personal affront to their friendship, thinking she was leaving her and abandoning her. So Leonardo again claims that she wanted to do something good enough for the law of equal exchange.
Okay.
And Virginia was good enough. So she played the same cards as the previous victims, saying there was a secretarial job in Florence, and it was a cute job, good for Virginia's skill set. So on September 30th, 1940, things did not have an easy start. First of all, she invited her in.
Okay.
Second of all, she didn't have her write the letters.
Okay.
Third of all, Virginia refused the wine that Leonardo offered her.
Oh, wow.
And Leonardo kept persisting to take the drink. So finally, Virginia drank it. She drank it slowly, and it took a long time for it to go into effect. When the poison began to work, Virginia became immobile.
Yeah.
Leonardo laid her down on the floor, removed all her expensive jewelry
He stopped.
and anything of value, and she stuffed them in her pockets. Mind you, Virginia was still alive at this point.
Meet
So she's
Virginia.
So Leonardo is literally picking off all the jewels and jewelry off of her living body still. So
we're kind of behind on a tablet, but the fact that we're both looking at John like, really? And then she's all, but.
So
That's funny.
You looking at my butt?
Your face here.
So Leonardo leaves like she does and comes back with an axe. And she lifts it above her head and brings it down on Virginia's chest, shattering several of her ribs in one blow. And Virginia let out one small gasp and died on the floor.
Yeah. No.
Leonardo dismembered the body as she had done before. She saved the usable parts for soap and tea cakes. And according to Leonardo's own words from her memoir, she ended up in the pot like the other two. She
Did
said,
she sink because she didn't hold on?
No,
Did she sink
It's
into
Leonardo.
Leonardo.
The pot? Sounds like a retarda.
God.
She said
Sorry.
that Virginia's flesh was fat and white.
Ooh,
When it
delicious.
When it melted, I added a bottle of cologne, and after a long
Oh.
time on the boil, I was able to make the most acceptable creamy soap. I gave bars to the neighbors and acquaintances. The cakes, too, were better. She was trying to say Virginia was so sweet it made the cakes taste better and the soap a better quality.
And when she would sell it, she'd like, meet Virginia.
No.
You messed up my screen.
So a few days later, after she finished making the soap from Virginia's remains, she brought a bar of soap home and insisted her son Giuseppe watch with it.
Giuseppe.
He was like, "No, that's weird." So Leonardo dragged him to the tub, pulled off his clothes, and washed him from head to toe with it. Then she gave him some tea cakes.
Oh, God. I'm gonna get 2 types of gas. Hold on. No.
So she shifted her method a little. She didn't have Virginia write any letters. And a few weeks after the murders, she was like, I think I did the law of equivalent exchange. And then Virginia's sister-in-law came a knocking. Albertina Fanti. Albertina. It sounded like they thought she was going to be an Albert.
No. Albertina Fanti.
And so she came looking for Virginia. So Leonardo told her that about the potential job. Virginia told Albertina about the potential job in Florence, and she was like, "Yo, I heard it from Leonardo." So since she hadn't heard from Virginia, she went straight to the source. Leonardo had not planned for this, and so she just stared at her And so Albertina's just questioning her, and Leonardo just closes the door on Albertina, and she's like, "Where's my sister? I want to know where my sister is." And Leonardo just goes, "Nope."
Cooking some more people.
So Albertina then learned of the other two missing women
Oh.
after she went to Leonardo's shop and was like, "That's weird. That's suspicious." So she went to the police with the information, and the police started to investigate.
What are you doing?
She made so bad.
I'm like,
So Leonardo did a good job of cleaning up after herself. There was not a whole lot of evidence to work with, but there was the postcards.
Did she use her own soap to clean herself up?
Yes, of course she did.
The human soap.
Probably. So Leonardo did a good job of cleaning, so there was not a lot of evidence to work with. But all the postcards that she had her victims send out,
Yeah.
they were sent by Giuseppe.
Oh.
So much like her stealing from the bank, she realized this is going to mess with Giuseppe, the man she was supposed to be doing this for, and she panicked. So she walked into the police station and she confessed to the murders. Turns out she was never a suspect. Giuseppe had actually been arrested because of the postcards. They were like, he sent them, so he killed them.
oh wow.
So Leonardo walks into the police station, goes, "I killed all three with the intention of protecting my son." And the police were like, "No, you couldn't. You're a respectable lady in town. I don't
Aw.
believe you killed 3 women."
Exactly.
So she showed them the soap and tea cakes made from Virginia, showed all the valuables she had stolen from her victims, took them to the sludge pit with the liquefied body parts were. She wrote in her confession that I mixed human blood with chocolate, tangerine, aniseed, vanilla, and cinnamon. Sometimes I added a sprinkling of powder from human bones. So investigators were horrified.
Probably got their stomach pumped.
She was immediately arrested and went to jail.
Wow.
But because the World War II was raging on, all local prosecutions were on standby. So it was 6 years before she went in front of a judge.
Oh, we took the jewelry off of them.
She was convicted of murder and sentenced to 30 years in prison. And during that time, her family, including Giuseppe, disowned her. The town turned their backs on her and referred to her as a monster. They only referred to her as the soap maker of Correggio. Throughout her imprisonment, she did not express any.
Oh, incarceration.
Yeah, she did not express any remorse or regret for what she did.
I did absolutely nothing wrong. I just cooked people and made soap out of them.
She did what she said that she did what she had to protect her son, and she wasn't going to apologize.
Hell yeah.
Leonarda died October 15th, 1970.
No.
She never answered any more questions from authorities or reporters. If she was asked a question, she wouldn't answer. Especially when it comes to like why, how, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of research trying to find her children.
How did you get a penny out of them?
Who would have nothing to do with this?
So we don't know much about her children after she died. Giuseppe just kind of faded into obscurity, and so do her other 2 children. Raphael divorced her, and he also fades into obscurity. And then that is the story of the soap maker of Correggio.
That's kind of short.
It is short. It is a shorter one, but it's a wild one.
Blankets back on
A
this
real
couch.
wild one.
Look at all this hair on my leg.
Yeah,
Yeah, put the sheets back.
it is a short one, but a wild one.
It wasn't too bad. I mean, the cannibalism part, just besides the crunchy tea cakes.
Yeah, you never heard that description, did you?
What's that?
How she described the tea cakes?
How were they?
Okay, I gotta pull it back up. Give me a second.
Nasty.
So she said, she wrote in her memoir that she published
Memoir?
herself. She goes, "I threw the pieces in a pot, added several kilos of caustic acid,
Nice.
which I had bought to make soap and stirred the whole mixture.
Okay.
And the pieces dissolved into a thick, dark mush that I poured into several buckets and emptied into a nearby septic tank.
Delicious.
As for the blood in the basin, I waited till it was coagulated, dried it in the oven, ground it, mixed it with flour, sugar, chocolate milk, and eggs with a little bit of margarine.
Hence, we have the drink Bloody Mary.
Kneading all the ingredients
No.
together, I made a bunch of crunchy tea cakes and served them to the ladies who came to visit.
Nothing like a crunchy tea cake. Wait a minute, I have a bone in mine. Let me get it out.
There's no bone. It's just
She
the
would
blood.
just sprinkle it in bone powder.
Oh, bone powder. Bone powder is actually much like powdered sugar, folks. It just melts in your mouth.
No.
No?
No.
No.
But yeah, she said that she did it all for Giuseppe.
Oh,
All for her son.
Giuseppe's such a lucky guy.
Yeah.
Her son is very.
I
lucky.
mean, I would sit there and go.
And you
to
know what?
school.
That second fortune teller, what did she say? In your right hand, I see you going to prison. In your left hand, I see you going to a criminal asylum.
And in my balls, I see you going to hell.
Oh,
But
God.
now her son doesn't have to worry about people picking on him because all he has to say is, "My mom
Was a
used
soap
to-"
maker of Correggio.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay."
She passed away in 1970.
Yeah, she
Did
passed.
she?
She passed away in
Or is she
1970.
living in Argentina?
She was in jail.
She's in jail.
when she
Okay.
died.
Yeah. Do we have confirmation of that?
She's dead.
Do we have quote
She was
confirmation
born-
of that?
She was born in 1894.
She could still be alive. Vampire. Boom. Came back as a demon.
No.
No? As you can tell, folks, the ladies love my input. That's why you see the stairs over in this general direction. They're saying to themselves, God, why didn't we think of that? Why didn't we think she could come back as a vampire? Zombie.
You just missed that. Right when you said that. Why didn't we think about it? She could come back as a vampire. We both looked at each other like, seriously?
Wow.
And then it shows a delayed reaction on
To all you Twilight fans, cheers.
Twilight fan. Does that mean she gonna come back as a damn vampire?
She's not gonna come back as a damn vampire.
Mm.
No, but no, she is an interesting case. I really felt bad for her. There was a lot of psychological problems with her.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, she was having so much anxiety, she was causing herself seizures.
And it was all because of her parents.
All because her mom was like, I curse you. And she's like, oh my God.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
It was before witchcraft, though. Like,
No,
no, well, I'm talking about mom didn't get into that.
yeah, her mom wasn't into that. Her mom was
wasn't
just
into
like,
that.
I curse you for ruining my life a second time.
Voodoo.
Nope, mom
No.
wasn't into that either. And this was all done in Italy.
Yeah, they don't have that.
Even worse.
They
The-
had
the
only
daughter got
Romani and
into it.
cunning women.
You know what Romanian cunning women are? They're very cunning. Romanian women.
Angela goes, yeah, that's what they were thinking.
Angela.
Dude, she's our top. Okay, so we have top fans. Because now it pops up on our screen over there. And Angela and Thomas are our only top fans.
Aww. That's
Yeah.
because we love them.
Angela's first and Thomas is second. But Angela's our bulldog.
My calendar book. 'cause
Yeah,
I can tell
Angela,
what's next.
Angela is our bulldog when it comes to getting people on here with nasty
I
comments.
am so sorry, Marie.
Where's it at, Abigail? In your room?
It's in my room. I still Marie.
How dare you?
I've had a really bad day.
On our next episode, Abigail after having a real bad day.
No, we have a Q&A next
You
episode.
should have saw how Marie looked at the camera too.
Hi. What you got, Mama? Here, let's move that.
Well, I watched a thing on YouTube channel today about a woman that got pulled over by the police, and the police officer was just doing a routine speeding
Oh, is
ticket.
it the one who found the 2 kids in the trash bag?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I was gonna
But-
do that as a case for here.
And then she sits there and tries to say, "Oh, well, it's because my sister left the kids with me, knowing that I couldn't take care of them." And, well, I was like, The girl was 7 years old. The boy was 5 years old. They found them wrapped in blankets and tape,
What made it?
and they had decayed so much that maggots were actually.
Yeah.
Well, it was the.
Oh, yeah.
It was that, but also the pullover scene was from 2022. The first child had been killed in 2021 and had been put in that trash bag and left in the car since 2021. Then a couple months later, the second child was then killed.
Yeah. So think of the smell, and think what it
Let's
did
not
to
think
those
of the smell.
poor officers that had to deal with that.
Yeah, from what I understand, the video, the
It's-
officers were
yeah.
very, very upset.
Oh yeah,
Look at this.
and rightfully so.
I don't ever get this. No, Miss Marie's a page. Hey, Mama.
I spoiled her.
I know she's always been a lap kitty, but she's always on deck. Hi, Mama. Hi, my babies. How you going?
So next episode we have a Q&A. So get your questions ready. And then we have a case. I think you might like this one. It's called Half Hanged to Mary. And this takes place in like Salem, Massachusetts-esque era. This takes place in like the witch trials era. It's gonna be great. Because by the way, I'm just gonna give you the heads up. She's a sweet old lady. She's a cranky old lady, but she's an old lady.
Yeah, so that gives her every right to kill, murder, and do everything she wants.
This isn't this is about the torture she endures.
Oh.
That happens to
Oh,
her.
okay. Then she has every
To
right
her.
to use her black magic to get back at them.
And then we got Arnie
We
Johnson.
don't know.
Arnie
Arnie Johnson, The Devil Made Me Do It, as the next episode.
I heard he had a big Johnson.
And then after that, we got a David Parker, the Toy Box Killer.
Nothing like killing those little clowns that pop out of those toy boxes.
No, he killed women. He was called the Toy Box Killer because he would put a box over their head, and then he would play audios he had pre-recorded of himself.
What's in the box?
Somebody's head.
What's in the box?
It's okay, Marie.
And technically, what was in the box in 7 was the head and fetus. No, the fetus was in there too. No, from what I understand, that they said it was both.
I never watched it, so I don't care.
Head only.
No, I'm pretty sure it was.
Head. Abigail's probably right, because she's right on like 99.9% of the stuff. But, head.
And then on September 1st, on my birthday, we're gonna have a pre-recorded episode of Edmund Kemper.
Ooh, happy birthday to Abigail.
Absolutely not. And then September 8th, we're gonna do a 9/11. We're just gonna do a little.
The history on it.
Yeah, we're gonna actually. I'm gonna talk about how. Fun fact: we kind of in the beginning funded Al Qaeda. We funded it, and then we stopped funding it, and then they got really mad at us. It was a whole entire spiel.
And I think that on that special episode, tell us where you were when you first found out about it.
When I was a young kid.
Abigail, I said when we do the show. That's not now, okay?
Where did there become
Michelle.
a week?
A week.
This is a week.
A wee wee?
And then we have the
folks?
Salem witch trials,
Yeah.
guys. We're
There's
gonna
no
talk
S.
about the Salem witch trials.
You know, that's J.A.M, John and Michelle.
No, it's A and N.
And then September 22nd,
Ask
she's
and
gonna talk about
munching.
Disney hauntings.
Oh,
Yeah.
neato.
Is that going to be the pre-recorded though?
That's gonna be a pre-recorded because you guys are gonna be gone.
Work on that on Sunday.
And then the
We're actually
29th.
be ghost hunting in Disneyland.
Wait, no, what are we doing?
We're doing the Zodiac Killer.
Oh yes.
On September 29th, we're doing the Zodiac Killer.
It was just a head actually, and they were going to
It
show
was
it,
just a head.
but decided it was better and creepier to not show it. Okay.
Okay, my bad.
So then,
Apologies accepted. I'm
then,
just kidding.
then we get to do Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
October 6th.
Who's
I'm
a hoe?
excited. On the 6th and the 13th.
And potentially the 13th.
Yes.
If by the end of the 6th, she's done with her episode with Edgar Allan Poe.
Who's the hoe?
We're gonna do Witch Hunters, and then we're gonna do. I didn't even know this when we pre-planned this. I didn't know The Conjuring was coming out with another movie. Okay, I did not know this new Conjuring movie was based on the Smurl family haunting.
It was based on Annabelle getting her revenge.
No.
No.
The newest Conjuring movie is on the Small Family Haunting. So, we're going to actually discuss the Small Family Haunting, and we've had this on the books for months.
Yeah.
So that's a fun little tidbit. It's weird how things line up for us.
And then we're gonna do my favorite subject, vampires.
Yeah, we can take the.
Do they exist or do they not? Vampire.
And then on November 3rd, the last scheduled one we have, we are going to be doing J.A.M.
You wrote that. You wrote it.
Documentary, I think.
I think she's
Or
saying
documentary.
documentary. Something.
And then I think after that one, we're gonna have to come up with some Christmas stories.
We're gonna have to.
We could do like some fables.
Or
I
maybe
have
they
one
could
in-
come up with an episode of
Cut me off again.
okay.
You
Maybe
cut
they
me off.
could come up with something like, is chupacabras real? Is
That would be for Halloween though. We're doing for that would be,
Bigfoot and UFOs real?
that'd be next year. That we could do that. Yes.
Is John Zwerg for real?
Is John's work gonna make it to the end of this video?
No. So if you don't see me at work,
I'm just
hear from
kidding.
me, folks.
I couldn't get rid of him. I like him too much.
Aw.
But no, maybe like Krampus.
Of course, we're going to talk about
Okay.
Krampus.
I always have a cramped ass. That's why I use the bathroom.
Do you know I have it set to where if you cuss, it'll probably bleep it out.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Don't trust me. I live with him every day.
Oh, have I ever showed you what I could do with my eyeballs?
Please don't.
Do it. Oh God. All right. Undertaker.
And I can do it with I can do it so like I close my eyes and then when I open them they're straight. Just
Undertaker.
and
She's
then
possessed.
and then I can also do it where I do
Undertaker.
just no
Today's
blinking,
Monday.
straight.
Okay. Undertaker did that when he wrestled. Oh yes, and we need to pay homage to Ozzy Osbourne, who we lost last week,
Yes.
and to Hulk Hogan, that we lost last week, and to Malcolm Jamal Warner, who we lost last week. So Ozzy, his was pretty much natural causes. Hulk Hogan was cardiac arrest, they were saying, and Malcolm Jamal Warner was in Costa Rica when he drowned.
And yeah, he was in the ocean.
And to all the others that aren't famous or not known that have passed, may our wishes and God's blessings be with you all.
Yeah.
You feel better now? Kidding.
Michelle made me spell on my bright, brand new wash white undershirt, folks.
Look at
I'm
his fault.
gonna...
December 11th is Krampus Day, he says.
Wait, when is December 11th? Let me pull up my calendar book. It's on a Tuesday. We get the
So-
Krampus on the 10th.
No, that's November, dear. We need December.
I'm
When-
smart, I
When are you gonna
promise.
do that dancing of the dancing witches?
So we're gonna have to do the one. We'll have to do it on the 8th.
The Dancing Witches.
Yeah, we're in that video that you're like, oh, that.
Yeah, we do that though. We can't put it in there because they do a copyright.
You just say this can be found on YouTube. We have no rights to it.
Well, I can look up the link and I can try and put it in.
They're
the
awesome, and please
So
support their
one
channel.
one thing that Abigail and I are wanting to do is when we move and get settled and either do it at her place or go back and forth.
You said do it.
Or go
I
to
can't
where
touch it.
like one time shut up. I've seen that. I've seen that. I caught it. But like get a good setup for your place to where maybe we alternate when we're gonna do that because I would like to be able to put things like that in there. Like on here. I could do that, but it will take me a while. I do it on Canva. It's who I used to have and that's how I did my videos. Is I could go through them and do that and I could add overlay and stuff like that too. I might
You know you can do that at CapCut now, right?
What?
CapCut?
What?
CapCut, never heard of that.
Yeah.
I have to look it up. December 12th is Nick's Day.
St. Nick's Day. We will be talking about St. Nicholas because that is an
Actually-
important one.
Probably have to do it the following
When
week.
they say Saint Nick, it's not about Saint Nicholas. It's about Nick from the Backstreet Boys.
No, it's not.
Oh,
But I'll have to look into that because I didn't know about that. But I would like to be able to do something like that to where I can go back and
Darn.
edit the videos. Please stop. Thank you. Don't. You kicked the camera. Why'd you kick the camera? Do not. Yell at you like the cats. But take and get like a cool computer set up to where we can do it from the computer. Do the live from the computer, and then I can turn around and go in and edit it. And it might take me like a day or something to edit it, because I could probably do it on a Wednesday or something.
Yeah, CapCut.
CapCut, okay. I'll have to look at it. Check it out and see if I can go in there maybe and like play around with it
It's an app you can
On
download
the
on your
net.
phone.
on the next, on the next video. Take the video and before uploading it, even though this is gonna upload right away. Maybe like on the ones where we were pre-recording it,
Mm-hmm.
I can mess with it on there,
I mean, we gotta pre-record it early.
so that way I can,
You know what we could do?
Hmm.
We could pre-record it right after we do the ones on Monday. So you have that time period, so all day Wednesday you could mess with it.
yeah, I could. And that way I can kind of. Or you have fun there. You're
I'm
such a
drinking my
weirdo.
boba.
You're hunting your boba. Stupid. Oh my lord.
I've had a really
bad
bad day. Let me have my boba.
We actually got a compliment the other day from a coworker who was a team lead. She made the comment that Abigail and I have the perfect chemistry for me being her in-law because of the things that we say to each other, and we don't take it to heart. When is that? Night of January 4th is
Bell!
Italian
Bafana Day.
Christmas witch. Okay, 5th, not the 4th. Okay. And what was it? Oh, we worked the mod yesterday. Sorry about yesterday. I forgot to post that I wasn't doing a live because I took this Thursday off. So I have Wednesday and Thursday off this week. And we were working on mods, and while we were working on mods, I mean, you can't see nothing, huh? Can't see the way. She's not gonna let you look. So,
Yeah.
and
Covering!
you make a better door than a window, cutie pie. And so, she was telling me something. I go, hold on a minute. I can't hear what you're saying. I go, none of that. I can't see anything if she's making gestures or faces. Because I took my glasses off to work. And then I walk up to her and she tells me to get a better eyesight. So my natural reaction was get better knees.
Yep.
So, the things that we say at work, we're not mean to each other. It's
Earlier that day I had looked at her and go, because she was kneeling on the floor.
Oh,
I went, you look shorter than normal.
like, yeah, I needed to feel grounded.
I make fun of her height.
Make fun of her knees.
Because my knees are
and
funny.
words that she can't say right for some reason at that moment.
Sometimes my brain thinks faster than my mouth moves.
Yes, we know.
Blah, blah, blah.
What are you doing, Tataru? Suddenly, Abby,
Yeah.
disappears. Yep.
Hi, guys.
She's behind a cat. So I have ninja vanish.
I don't know why. She never appears on camera.
No, she's not like Willow, where Willow has to be on camera at all.
And now she's just like, I am blocking Abby.
Yep.
You can see her hands.
She has hands on a cat.
Woo!
That's funny. So I have fabric. I was telling her I have fabric. Joann's isn't open anymore. Who bought this stuff? Michael's?
Michael's.
Or supposedly?
Michael's, might. I know Walmart has fabric. Hobby Lobby has fabric.
We might have to do maybe Thursday some Michael's, Hobby Lobby
Of course we're going to
fabric searching.
But first of all, aren't we gonna go to Michael's to look at the Halloween shish?
Yes, we're gonna go look at the Halloween shish. But I want to,
Is it the ice?
she likes to play with
Do
these.
you want the ice in this cup?
She does.
You can't have
But I
it.
want to find fabric that will fit. So now we see how big the screen is because we're sitting here on the couch. We're probably going to come back to the couch.
Because honestly, it's a lot better.
It's a lot comfortable. We can get comfortable, as you can tell.
Especially because recently I've been working a lot on Mondays.
Yeah. And so that way, well, we can get comfortable. I'll put the sheets back on it so the dog will stop flipping off the beds that I put up here.
Oh yeah, because she likes to burrow underneath, but then she gets mad halfway through and just throws it.
I think I'm going to buy a tote, a good sized tote to put the pillows away. Sorry, Tataru. I know you like to burrow in those, but. And she's looking at the camera as you're doing that. It was his. Oh. That's true. Because you're. Way to go, Tataru. You become famous.
Woo! Jazz hands.
She's like, I want the ice, Mom.
You can't have the ice
That's
because
pretty
the ice
funny.
had Red Bull in it.
But we want to find. I want to find some fabric that we can.
I didn't
put
just
here
spill it, I
along
promise.
the wall. So we'll have to measure the length of this window. You know that, right? There's a boba in there. I see it. You didn't get all of it.
You are obsessed with ice.
She is.
Who made you this? I know who made you this way. She did.
Grandma. I don't get grandbabies. I get fur babies, and guess what? I can still spoil the fur babies. So we'll have to measure the wall right here and see how long and how
Hi.
much fabric. I'm thinking maybe. Do you think 2 yards, or is that too much?
Ow! I think 2 yards might be enough.
Hey, stop being mean.
She doesn't like being pet.
Thank you for knocking that down. I appreciate you so much. But yeah.
I gotta rewind and take a screenshot of doing the jazz hands behind her while she's staring into the camera.
That was pretty funny. So yeah, we're gonna have to take and set the camera where it's gonna look right because it looks crooked to me for some stupid reason. But get fabric up there so we can.
It
have
could
for
be
Halloween.
because the stand is broken.
Yeah, John did bend it.
Oh, we
Not
gotta get
on
new
purpose.
microphones.
Yeah, because I broke those.
I'm gonna get more new of the smaller ones until we can get
The fancy.
until we move, and then we can get the fancy ones.
Hmm. Because I told John if we get a house with the spare room for myself, I want to do like a haunted mansion background for Halloween, and then have another wall have like a color, not a colorful one, but I'll pick the background.
I want my office space to be completely gothic year round.
Heck, why not?
I'm talking about a black wall with the rest of the walls bright, like a dark red.
Ooh.
And like an old antique-ish chandelier.
And then we could sit there, like just set the camera in certain areas. Like the black wall means this is gonna be a good one, and it's dark. And then turn the other way and be like it's gonna be pretty bloody. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Add stuff to it. That'd be fun. That way we can have a room of our own to share it.
Are you biting yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna screen record that. We can post it on our TikTok channel. I think people will find that hilarious.
So the jazz hands.
Jazzy.
But,
Katara just staring at the
and
screen.
I'm gonna look at that cap cut. Do you have to pay for that?
No, it's
I
free.
know it's free, but if you want to subscribe to it though.
I have the app right now. Mobanka, that's the wrong app.
Wrap everything in bubble wrap so y'all don't break them. Laugh out loud. You know, that was okay. Yeah, because we will. We're using totes to move instead of boxes. Because in that way we can stack the totes and have them for later. I don't think we're ever moving again, but I'm just saying. When John and I find a house of our own. We're gonna be buying totes and stuff in October when we come back. We're gonna start packing up the little things. So it's gonna still look like a house, but Just the stuff that we don't use every day is gonna get put away. Means all my board games and stuff in their room is gonna get put away. Some of the stuff that's in the office is gonna get put away.
Yeah, because you can do this, and then like I'm gonna.
I can't see because of your privacy screen. Okay.
So you see this, and then you like add an audio, you add a text, you can add an overlay or add effects,
Okay, cool.
like video effects.
Nice. Okay. Alright. So
I
I'll
love
have
that right there.
To, yeah. Doesn't last very
Oh
long.
no, I need to fix that. I'm gonna make that a video.
They have a premium thing, I think. Not to move, just
Wait for it.
you to exist around your home. Yeah.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, it doesn't last long. Well, if they have a premium thing and it's not expensive, I might sign up for it. Because, but I will wait till we move to sign up for something like that to where I know I can do it. Cause I have where I make you guys know the cover photo that I put on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love doing stuff like that. It's just so much fun to play around with it. I told her I need to make a new one because I accidentally deleted the other one that had history instead of podcast on it. PixArt is a good one as well. Yeah, I had, what did I say? Canva?
Canva.
Canva's the one that I had, but that one you gotta pay for too. I mean, you could use it just to, like Angela's saying, to exist, like to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to I wanna get one that has a good selection of things. Unfortunately my computer was crap because it was so slow. I can do Canva on here, but then it takes me forever. So I'd have to do it on my tablet, just to do the video. But I'd rather do it on an actual desktop computer. But I'll look at CapCut and check it out and see what it has. And then I can always go back into the video and just edit it and add things to it, like a black screen starting out in the beginning, maybe, have
Fitting into us being here.
Yeah, fading into us, but it can say, like, if you tell me, hey, this one's graphic, I
Like
can
a
put,
list of trigger warnings.
yes, I can sit there and put, caution, graphic, podcast, trigger warnings, and then put it in there, and then try to maybe find some cute music or something to where people can watch the video that way.
Yeah.
Try to find a song or something like that in there to where that might draw people in, but every season or something change it.
A little theme song.
Yeah, a little theme song. It would be fun to have a little theme song.
You know what we could do?
Huh?
See if we could get the Axeman in New Orleans song. That was a little poppin'.
I like that one. That was
a good song.
That was a good song. And then I'll look into it. I'll figure it out. I'll play with it this Wednesday. I'm off Wednesday and Thursday, so I can mess around with it. Maybe go find an old video. Actually, no. What I can do, because all these videos are on J&M's, before I put it to A&M, I can go mess with it Wednesday. I can go on here on my tablet and pull it up, make sure my tablet's charged. And I can, before I do that, go in here, find this video, download it to my tablet, and then mess with it through CapCut. See what happens. But just download the video to my tablet. And then later I can delete it, the video from my tablet. And
I'm sorry. I just realized this saved somebody's birthday in my phone for every day until 2106.
What the shit?
So I was like, this bugged me. I was like, why do I have so many things? And then it was like, oh yeah, this birthday is on this date. And I was like, A what?
That's hilarious. And I'll look at PixArt too. So the one thing that I used to do the photos of our little emoji pictures and our name is through design.com. And they have a nice premium thing too that I can sign up for. Because with that, hi Mamu, it has, I can get business cards. I can get a website. Yeah, I don't need the website. We have our channel. But it has business cards and a few other things. Yeah. What? Oh, Mama, come here, baby. What's the matter? Come here. Come on. Hi. You okay? Come on.
Well, you're trapped in a room with Justin.
No, she was outside the door and then he let her in. Hold on. No, stop. Don't make eye contact with her. She don't like the eye contact. I'm sorry. I'm not being mean to you. I'm just saying, don't make eye contact with her.
I love how she just sighed.
It never goes well with you two.
No.
But I'm willing to open up options and see what would be a good thing to use. Like if I had a better running computer, like a gaming computer or a streaming computer, I think Canva would work really well.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna check out these others. If anybody else has any more ideas as far as, what would you call it? Trying to think of it.
Editing.
Yeah, like an editing type.
Editing software.
Thank you, it works. My brain's not working.
My
But
brain
like
isn't
some
either.
type of editing software that is not too overpriced, but really reliable and really good. Those two, like I said, I know I keep saying it. I'm gonna check those two out. I did Canva. I did is it OSB Studio? I tried that. Didn't really like that too much because it freaked me out. I hit too many things and I had to stop. But if anybody has any other suggestions, please put it in the comments so that way I can look into those. We are going to get off here. You know, August 4th. God, freaking August. We're already
This
there.
year is passing by so fast.
And I might just decorate the wall as a little fallsy type thing too, because August is around the corner.
Fudge.
Mhm.
I gotta start making a fall wreath.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the fun part.
No,
Maybe
no,
maybe one of the Q&A or something like that, or one of the others.
We'll make a fall wreath.
Make a fall wreath while you're talking. Do like a crafting talk or something.
Oh, look, she's staring at you.
No, mommy. No, lick me. No. Nope. No lickies. No lickies. She gets excited when she sees Grandma come home. Huh?
She gets so excited. She starts crying at the door.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know they're home. But we could probably start kind of decorating the wall a little bit just to set the tone and set the mood of the season that's coming up.
Spooky season.
Mm-hmm. Go to Dollar Tree and get us some witches hats for the witchy stuff. But thank you all for coming on here. Thank you, Angela and Thomas. And the
Have a
people
good
that joined
night.
on here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to not only J.A.M's Adventures, who we have to do this through until we get
50.
the 50 subscribers on A&M History. But please go over to A&M History and subscribe, like, and share on that as well, so we can get up to 50, so we can stop doing it on here and be over there on our own
A&M
channel
History,
and
yeah.
go live.
Yeah.
Help push it through. Do as much as you can. Help us out. We have 24 subscribers right now over on there.
So we just need 26.
Yep, we need
26
more
subscribers.
So, and
They don't have to watch us. They can just
just
subscribe.
subscribe. You know,
If you got a significant other, just take their phone and
make them subscribe. And then-
subscribe and then mute us.
Yeah, just mute us.
You don't have to tell
listen.
them.
You don't have to do anything. And then, you
That's
know,
what I did for Justin.
hit the notification bell too. So if you do want to watch, you can. But love you all. Thank you all for being on here. We will see you next Monday, August 4th, for the Q&A.
Yes.
It might just be us chit-chatting like we did last time. And if you got questions, just put them in the comments and we'll go from there. And remember, I don't remember most of the things that we talk about because it was like, I don't remember some of the crap we talk about.
And my brain is just locked in. Also, I can pull it up on my tablet anytime.
Yep. So, I mean, we'll have fun. Like we pretty much have it planned out all the way up to November. So, and we'll go from there. And then maybe on our, you know what, Thursday, I'll make sure my phone's fully charged. We might take you on a ride on Thursday. They're gonna take me out for my birthday. They're thinking maybe Topgolf, possibly
Maybe
Cracker Barrel. Either one, don't make no difference to me. And then maybe me and Abigail can drop the guys off here, and then go out and we can do a live video in the car because we have a little stand, and that way we can take you on a ride along of going to Hobby
And you'll
Lobby
get to
stuff.
experience the full extent of my road rage, because I may not be legally and medically clear to drive, but it doesn't mean I can't catch road rage.
Yep, me too. So, and then we'll go to Michael's. We'll go to Hobby Lobby. We'll look around at the hall. They don't have a whole lot of their fall stuff out yet, but they're getting
Michael's
there.
has all their is setting out their Halloween stuff.
Yeah. So,
And you get to see the difference in our Halloween taste.
yeah, because I can't stand the pastel.
And I love the pastel
This is-
stuff.
This is me right here. You know this is Justin, right?
I know that's Justin's.
Me right here. This is me.
Meanwhile, mine, I love like the Bath and Body Works. If you can look at the luminaire of the bakery, the pastel pink bakery with all the spooky stuff in it, that's my definition of Halloween.
Yep.
I love that.
Yes, and I will see you tomorrow. And I think
I will be shopping tomorrow.
yeah.
So you'll
John
see
and
us.
I are both at work tomorrow, so you'll see John and I.
And you'll see
Probably
Justin
see
and me.
Justin and her early in the mornings. But I appreciate you guys for coming on here. Again, thank you so much, Thomas and Angela, for being on here every
Thank
time.
you
We appreciate you very, very much.
very much.
Thanks for being our top fans.
Number
You're our
one and number two.
You're our moderator and our top fans, so that's pretty awesome. So love you guys. See you both tomorrow, I believe, right, Angela? You're gonna be there tomorrow, I think. But yeah, and we'll see you guys next Monday. So have fun.
ya.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye. I just slapped myself in the face.